One of the reasons that I love yoga so much is because it actually has so much real life application. Like what you're learning in the studio applies to this crazy life, right? And it can help you through it. Absolute favorite things to do. Yoga is my jam, and adding the balance challenge of being on the water, I just love it. But along with that, sometimes, you guys, this happens. It happens in the water, it happens in the studio, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you lose your balance and you fall. And one of the things I love the most about yoga is the real life application, okay? The things that being in yoga and your practice can teach you about this crazy life. So here's the thing. When we fall in yoga, it's a lot like falling in life, the way we react to it. I remember my yoga guru, Lisa, teaching me that when we were in class, when we lost or fell out of a balance pose, she said, imagine falling out of that pose and acting the way that you act in life when you fall. When things get frustrating or stressful, imagine, what does that look like for you? Do you typically yell or lose your cool? And imagine yourself being in a yoga class and falling out of a pose the way that you fall in life, right? But imagine acting the way that you act in life. Like imagine kind of stomping around your mat and yelling and kind of being upset, right? And sometimes we do that in yoga because we're frustrated, not like outwardly, but in our mind, right? And it's really irrelevant outside of life, whether we do it in our mind or outwardly. It really doesn't matter because it still throws us off our groove. So in yoga, it's really hard to get back into the balance pose if you're doing that in your brain, because your brain has to be like clear and present with yourself to be able to hold those balance poses. Well, the same is with life. If you're in life and you get thrown off of your groove, you get thrown out of whatever you're trying to accomplish or do when you feel so frustrated, right? When you allow that to come in and permeate what you're thinking and feeling. See, in class, if you do that, mentally it's hard to get back into the pose, but also the time that it takes you to let go of the frustration and try to get back into the pose, typically the teacher has already moved on and is going on to another pose, and you've missed the chance at all of getting into the pose. So I love the way that she taught me how that applies to life as well. We miss out, we miss our chance of being present in that moment when we allow frustration to set in. And it doesn't really matter, whether it's in yoga or in life. We can apply the same idea. That's why we go to yoga to practice, so that we can apply those same ideas outside of life. That when we fall, because we all fall, every single one of us makes misjudgments or we get something wrong or whatever. We don't really need to take the time and get mad at ourselves, right? Let it go and move on and make it better, right? Because when we're stuck in it, we can't move on. We all make mistakes, we all make misjudgments, and sometimes a wave just comes along and throws us right off of our groove. The way that we react to our falls in life is instinctive, right? But it doesn't mean that there's not a space there where we can retrain ourselves in the way that we act and respond to the things around us. There's a quote by Viktor Frankl I love. It says, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Do you guys love that quote as much as I do? It allows you to stop and to think that I love that space in between stimulus and response, and what the power is that we have in that space. It's awesome. So right now, take a look at how much time you spend in frustration. Now, some things in life are huge, and it's just going to be part of the process, being frustrated. That's granted. But I'm talking about the everyday upsets, the little things, okay, that get under our skin and that can derail us from our mission and our goals. The things that can be happening either outside of us, like an outward expression of frustration, or the things that are happening in our brain. We keep control when we act, and we give it away when we react. Trust me, this is one of the biggest things that I have learned in yoga, and it has helped me so much. To some of you, that kind of stuff, the little frustrations and not letting them get in your way might come easy. For me, it was a big breakthrough in trying my best not to allow the little things to get in the way of my groove and the things that I'm trying to accomplish. Not letting the frustration set in and take over. I love some of the lines from one of my favorite poems. It's called How Did You Die by Edmund Vance Cooke. It says, it's nothing against you to fall down flat, but to lie there, that's disgrace. The harder you're thrown, why the higher you'll bounce. Be proud of your blackened eye. I love how that poem talks about our falls, like things that we can learn from, triumphs, if we overcome them. You guys, I will link that entire poem below if you guys want to read it. It's awesome. So you guys, I'm hoping that me sharing my falls with you in yoga helps you to see frustration from a little bit different angle. I hope that it helps you let go of frustration and to come back with a stronger state of mind, to stay in your groove longer. If you guys want more messages like this, then please subscribe. I would love to have you along on the journey. I'm bringing you videos every single week of things that help you live happy and be inspired. I'll see you guys next time.